Hey guys, this is Mateus Quinteri. I'm a professional musician here in Nashville, Tennessee, where playing hot chicken picking licks is the only way to survive. And today we're going to talk about pedal steel bands. And to really understand the concept of those bands on electric guitar, we need to talk about what's unique on the instrument pedal steel guitar. Make sure you guys watch until the end, because I got a great solo that I created specifically for this lesson, and it's fully transcribed note for note, okay? So on the pedal steel guitar, when you hit a chord and then you press one of the pedals, it'll bend some of the strings, but not all of them. So some of the notes will stay the same, creating this beautiful harmonic movement. It's different than the whammy bar on the electric guitar, for example, which moves all the strings at once. It's much more complex than that. So basically, all you need to know to come up with some interesting pedal steel bands is chord shapes and the diatonic scale, and combine those two. Here's how. So let's say we wanted to create a pedal steel band over an E chord. So we have this E shape right here, and then we're gonna pick some notes, 2 or 3 out of that chord. So in this case, let's grab the last 3 strings. So we have G sharp, B, and E, right? Now we're gonna include a note from the E major scale. So in this case, let's move the G sharp back to the closest note we have on the E major scale. In that case, F sharp. So we move G sharp to F sharp, and we're gonna keep the other notes where they are. Now we're gonna play this, and then we're gonna bend that F sharp a whole step, bringing it back to the original note, G sharp. And then you have that pedal steel guitar effect. If I wanted to do that somewhere else, for example, I could do it over this E shape right here. Grab just the last 2 notes, G sharp and B. Again, we're going to move that G sharp note back to the closest note available on the E major scale, or whatever scale it is that you're using on that particular song. So we have F sharp and B now, and I'm going to play those 2 notes and bend the F sharp a whole step up back to the original G sharp note. So now that you understand that concept, you can apply that to several different types of chords, minor chords, or you know, a dominant 7 chord maybe. And something else you can do is you can use your volume knob to give it even more of like a pedal steel character, because the pedal steel players usually do have a volume pedal that they use a lot. So for example, I can go back to that first band I showed you and do, or I can do this. Now again, combining the diatonic scale with the chord shape and the band, let me give you 2 examples over E and 2 examples over A, so you can get an idea of the things you can do, and then you can come up with your own pedal steel licks, okay? Let's get to it. 2, 3, 4, 1. One more time. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. Now the first idea over A. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Something else that's really cool is finding licks that work over a transition between 2 chords. So let's say we're going from the 1 to the 4. In that case, I always think it's a good idea and it sounds good to emphasize the flat 7 over the 1, because that's the note that creates the tension and sets it up for the 4 chord, you know, when that tension gets released. So let me show you 2 examples of how to go from E, E7 to A, okay? Let's get to it. And 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. So notice how I'm landing. After I do that bend, I land on the flat 7 here. And then when I bend this, I'm kind of already like inside this A shape here. But when I bend this note, the C sharp to D, I have E and D, which are both part of the E7 chord. So it's at the same time, it's like an A suspended, but it's also an E7. And then I land on that A major chord, giving the release. So here's another one. And 1, 2, 3. So here I have this cool movement going on between, you know, I'm going to G sharp, hitting the root here, and then back up to G sharp, and then I'm hitting the flat 7 with my index here. And then I bring that bend down and land on A here, you know. Now, if we were going from the A back to the 1, we could do something like this. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So notice how when I bend this, this is what we're creating. And this is part of this A chord right here. And then when I do, I'm going from this to this. And this is part of an E chord. So that's how I created that movement from the 4 back to the 1. Now, like I said, I have this full solo that I created just for this lesson with everything that we just talked about, but in context, so you can get an idea of how those licks really work on a musical situation. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you click like, subscribe, share with your friends. If you want to learn more, I got some links for you in the description. I got a Patreon full of country guitar solos transcribed with backing tracks. My instructional video, the country guitar method, is now available for sale on Patreon as well. And you don't have to subscribe, you know, be a member. You can just buy one time and have it forever. Also, you can buy a t-shirt now. I got this t-shirt design available for sale. And you can also book an online lesson with me through my website. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.